back in Dallas at my favorite spot, Poker House, where this weekend they're running the largest ever free roll in Texas for no less than $250,000. We head over to the room. It's packed, and for good reason. First place is going to lock up almost $60,000. No luck for us on our first bullet. We flop a set only to lose to a rivered flush. All good though, we fire another one, but this time run our ace king into pocket kings all in pre-flop. With no help to us, we are out of the free roll. No worries though, the cash games are just as juicy. What is up, you guys? We are back at Poker House Dallas with another video. It's the late night shift, the graveyard. We're gonna hop into some 1-2, which basically plays like a 2-5, 5-10, whatever you want to call it. Maybe some 2-5 later on. Let's hope the action is as crazy as it always is in Dallas. If you guys are watching this for the first time, I'd appreciate a subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment down below. Let's just jump right into the hands. Let's go. We're into the 1-2 game for $559. We look over at the TV and see a friendly face. Yes, that's me. They're stoked I'm here, and I am as well. Before we can even get into a hand, we see pocket queens versus pocket queens, chopping it up in a very small pot. But then we look down at pocket queens of our own. We're on the button. We have $550 in our stack. When the hijack opens it up to $20, I come in for a standard 3-bet to $55, expecting him to either fold or call. It's not too likely I'm gonna get 4-bet. But in this exact spot, that's exactly what the hijack wants to do. Alarm bells are going off in my head when he makes it $175 off of a $1,200 stack. But pocket queens are the third best hand ever created, so who am I to fly out to Dallas and then fold them on my first hand? I put in the call, and we see a pretty harmless flop of 9-5-5 rainbow. Opponent does not slow down on this board, definitely indicative of an overpair type of hand. He now bets out for $150 into the $350 pot. Definitely a spot that I don't think we can be folding. We have pocket queens and overpair, but when he 4-bets me pre-flop, he's primarily representing kings and aces. Still, I didn't fly out here to fold. I put in the call, and that brings in a pretty bad card, the Jack of Hearts. The reason I say this is a bad card, because if he was doing this with a hand like jacks or tens, well, now we're losing to pocket jacks, which isn't great. We're still losing to kings and aces, and we're only really beating a bluff like ace king or king queen. I just don't really think king queen is going to 4-bet us here. So when he rips it all in, it's 230 effective. That's what I have in my stack. I'm hemming and hawing here. Yes, I know that I don't have very much in my stack, but at the same time, what is he representing here? Did he just pick up a heart draw on the turn? Does he have a set of nines, jacks, kings, or aces? It's more likely he has a very strong hand here. Not too often you're going to see big bluffs like this. So for that reason, I elect to fold my hand face up. That usually gets the opponent to show their hand, and sure enough, he's nice enough. He watches the vlog and he turns over something we definitely did not expect to see. King 8 of hearts. He 4-bet me pre with King 8 of hearts, c-bet that flop with just some backdoor draws, picked up the heart draw on the turn and just went for it. Oh man, dealer, please show me a heart, so I made a good fold. But that's not what he does. He shows me a black 9, and we're going to lose that pot when we should have won. You guys feel free to roast me down in the comments. Got to be calling there with my short stack, but at the same time, he was only representing like 3 hands, all of which had me beat. After that debacle, we look over to the live stream room, and it looks like Sandra locks up first place here and gets $55,000. She beat a field of nearly 1,003 players. Obviously, she's stoked. She's taking down 55 grand off of a $0 buy-in. That's pretty sick. Pocket deuces are the next hand we play here. I have $525 in my stack after rebuying for $300 more. It's raised up to $15 pre-flop, and I decide just to call, looking for a deuce on the flop. We also have a $50 red or black, which if you guys aren't familiar with, basically it's a side bet that players can do. If there's 2 or more red on the flop, I'm going to win $50, and if there's 2 or more black on the flop, he's going to win it. The flop comes 8-5-5. Bang! We flop all red. Pretty great spot for us. We already locked up $50, but no deuce on there. Still, we have a pair, which is pretty hard to make in poker. I check it over to him, and he checks behind, bringing in the 7 of spades on the turn. Not going to be betting here again. I already made $50 off this hand, and I have basically 4th pair. I check it over to him, and he now bets out for $20, and that's going to do it. We fold our cards. He's taking it down. Alright, you guys, we look down at Jack 10 of diamonds now from the hijack. The player on my right opens it up to $5. That's not enough for me. I make it $15. The cutoff now comes in for a cold 4-bet to $55. and the action folds back around to me. Jack 10 of diamonds plays pretty nicely against his entire range, and it's suited, so I decided to put in the call. We're off to a flop, which gives us a pair and a gutter, Jack 9-7 with 2 clubs. Definitely a great spot. Still not going to be leading into him here if he has an overpair. We don't want to bloat the pot. I check it over to him. With 115 in the middle, I'd expect him to go for a half pot size bet, but he decides to go nearly full pot for $105. But with my top pair and a gutter, can't be folding this, so I toss in some greens and a red, and we bink the turn when it comes to 8 of spades. Bang! We turn the straight. Dream spot for us. I check it over to him. It's a draw heavy board, so I could be leading into him here. There's clubs, there's a 4-liner to the straight, which I do now have. If he has a hand like queens or kings, he might decide to check back, which is exactly what he decides to do. Not a great outcome on the turn, but the 3 of diamonds shouldn't improve him in the slightest. We're only losing to queen 10. Trying to make it look like a bluff here, like I missed the club flush draw. I rip it all in now for $426. It's $100 over the size of the pot. There's only $325 in the middle, and the cutoff does not think for more than 15 seconds before calling. I'd consider that pretty much a snap call in this spot. I turn over what should be the nuts on this board, and he taps the table and mucks his cards. He either had an overpair there or a set like 9s or 7s, but really nice for us to take down that $1,200 pot, and now we're finally up on the session. Trying to build some momentum there, we look down at king, queen offsuit, and I raise it up to $20 pre-flop from the +1 position. We get 3 callers here, no shortage of actions, and we're 4 ways to a flop, which gives us a gutter to Broadway. It comes ace 10-4 rainbow. The action checks around on the flop, which brings us second pair. It comes the king of clubs. I decide to check again, and it checks around for a second time. When the river comes the 4 of diamonds now, I have 2 pair, kings and 4s with an ace, and I decide to go for a little bit of value here for $30. No takers though, everyone mucks their cards, and that's going to do it for this hand. I take down that $80 pot. A wild berry has appeared.
What's up, baby?
What's
How
up,
you
Vic?
doing, man?
Hey. Hey, I'll see you, buddy. Later. If you guys are longtime subscribers of the vlog, you'll remember Barry and Rocky from Stacks Social Club in Lubbock, Texas. Why are they out in Dallas, you might ask? Oh, there was a Texas Tech Red Raiders game. I think it was basketball in Dallas this weekend, so they had to stop by and say hi. If you guys like that action from Stacks, I'll leave a little card up above. You can click on it, or in the next month, I'll be back out there to check out the action and the honey buns once again. Back to the poker action, I look down at 10-8 of spades from the cutoff, and I raise it up to $25 pre-flop. I get 2 callers, one from the button and one from early position. We're going 3 ways to the flop. When the flop comes 9-6-4 with 2 spades, we flop ourselves a gutter to the straight flush. Pretty great spot. Early position checks it over to me. I could go for a check here, but I want to build the size of the pot. Any 7, any 10, or any spade is likely going to give us the best hand. I can also just take it down here with my 10 high, which is going to get a lot of jack, queen, and king highs to fold. So I lead out for $25, and in this spot, everyone decides to fold. Not complaining with the free $50 of profit. We're on to the next one. Hand of the night here, you guys. I look down at 8-9 of diamonds. You know this is going to be a good one if I don't have aces or kings, and I'm saying it's the hand of the night. I'm in the hijack, and there's a few limps to me. I raise it up to $25. Looking to have some deception here. If I'm raising with aces, kings, ace, king, I also need to raise with 8-9 suited in order to get maximum value when we flop ourselves a pretty good hand. We get 4 callers here, so we're going 5 ways to the flop. 125 in the middle. It's past 1 in the morning, and we get a flop of 5-5-6 rainbow. You guys are probably wondering how this is the hand of the night when all I have is 2 overcards and a gutter to the straight. When middle position bets out for $60, definitely in a weird spot here. If I fold here, I think it's pretty weak. I still could have a lot of overpairs. I could be raising, but what if he has a 5? He's just going to snap call me with better. So for that reason, I have a gutter and 2 overcards here. He could have a hand like 6-7 or 6-8. So for that reason, I decided to put in the call here and peel a card. We don't always do this kind of a play, but in this moment, it worked out when the 7 of clubs peels off on the turn. Bang! We rivered the nuts straight. It's not the nuts on the board as pocket 5s would be that, followed by pocket 6s, pocket 7s, 5-6, 5-7, but 8-9 suited is definitely up there in terms of hands you want to have on this kind of a board. Middle position decides to go for the exact same size of the bet he went on the flop. $60 is the price of poker. When he bets out for $60, would you guys just flat call the $60 looking for a clean queen river card, like no club and the board's paired, so it is a little bit scary? Or would you elect to do what I did and raise the pot up to $225? What am I really getting value from here? Maybe a hand like ace 5, king 5, 5-8, 5-4, or maybe a hand like 3-4 suited. Although I did raise it up to 25 pre, so we could probably get rid of 3-4 suited. I decided to make it $225, and middle position does not think for more than 10 seconds before ripping it all in for $900. Really curious to see what you guys think about this. Pause this video and let me know down in the comments. Would you A, fold for around $700 more when the opponent rips it all in? Obviously he's representing a hand like a boat when he just snap jams it all in. Or would you B, call the all in for $900 effective? Let me know down in the comments. Interested to see what you guys would do. Alright, back to the hand. I put in the call. I didn't come all the way out to Dallas here to fold the 9 high straight. The board is paired. There are some draws available. We're just gonna put it in here and hope to be good. And the river comes the jack of hearts. Shouldn't really change too much what he's representing on the turn. He turns over 4-3 of spades, one of the hands I mentioned that I didn't think he'd have, but we're gonna take down that $2,000 pot. We turn over the 9 high straight. Definitely a bold move by the opponent, ripping it in there with the third best straight. Glad I made the call there on that paired board, and we're gonna get rewarded with that over $2,000 pot. Let's freaking go. Up almost $1,200 on the session, and I get rewarded once again with the pocket kings. Few limps to me, and I raise it up to $30. Only the small blind is the one to put in the call. We're going heads up to the flop. Pretty easy board to play here when it comes jack 8-5 with 2 hearts. Small blind checks it over to me. I toss out a quarter, and he mucks his cards. Pretty standard hand, but I thought I'd throw it in there for you guys. Not every hand is over $2,000.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Yeah.
Next hand and last hand of the night, I look down at another pocket pair. It's pocket 10s here, and the player on my right opens it up to $20 blind. Obviously, I have pocket 10s. I'm going to come in for a 3-bet here. Regardless if he was raising blind or not, I make it $50. The button puts in the call, and the player that was in blind also puts in the call. We're going 3 ways to a flop, which comes king 8 deuce rainbow. Not the best flop, but also not the worst. I still have a pair, so when the hijack checks it over to me, I decided to check it over to the button, looking to see what he'd do. In between 2 opponents, I'd also occasionally be checking hands as strong as king queen and ace king. So I'm not only checking here when I have under pairs, I'm also doing this pretty balanced with kings in my range as well. When the button bets out for $55 and the hijack gets out of the way, can't be folding here. I put it in the call, and we see the 3 of hearts on the turn. When I call the flop, I'm just going to check it over to the button for a second time. If he checks behind, it's likely we have the best hand. However, if he goes for a bet, he either picked up a heart draw on the turn, or he just has a hand like king 10, king jack. So for that reason, when I check it over to him for a second time, and he decides to go for exactly a half pot size bet of $130, nothing for me to do here other than fold. If I call, I'm probably just lighting money on fire. He's representing some pretty strong hands here. With that last hand concluded, we rack up our chips and head to the cage. I am exhausted. We are cashing out here into the game for $5.59. Had to rebuy for $300. That's $8.59 if my math is correct. Up for 1963, a profit of $11.03, I believe. It'll be on the screen, whatever. If you guys are in the area, come check out Poker House Dallas. Tell them Wolf sent you. They'll give you like a free day pass in a free hour or something. But as always, good luck on the felt. Hit the subscribe button if you like my videos. Really appreciate it. And good luck on the felt as always. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace. Thanks for watching to the end of my video. Click my head below to subscribe and stay in the loop. See you next time.